Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and welcome to another Ryanair Real Ops. This time we're going to fly from Dublin over to Manchester online on VATSIM, featuring the iFly Boeing 737 MAX. Now a quick note over here, the 8200 version that Ryanair flies is not quite released yet, but Atarium has done a great job of repainting it and actually painting the mid-exit door onto the aircraft where it would be in the real world, but the aircraft itself is still the original iFly 737 MAX 8. However, we should not really notice a lot of differences in this one, so I am looking forward to a Ryanair operations as realistic as it gets. And with that, let's enter our Boeing 737-8200 for our flight towards Manchester. Quick 35-minute flight over here, and we're gonna start with the basics. The battery is gonna come on, and well, since it looks like the airport does not provide us with an external power unit today, that means we'll have to start up the APU. So let's go ahead and do the APU fire test over here. And then we can test the squibs, and with that out of the way, we can go ahead. I will turn on the one left AC fuel pump already, but it's not gonna do anything just yet. However, we can go ahead and start up the APU. Now, while the APU startup is in progress, let's go ahead and have a quick look into what we're expecting for our flight today. And here we go. So this is our Simbrief flight plan for the day. If we have a look at the PDF version, I kind of find that's easiest for our flight. Then our route of flight is fairly straightforward, mostly straight line until we're eventually going to receive radar vectors for arrival. The significant weather charts do not pose any threats, nothing on there except for a little bit of tailwind. And if we have a look into the weather information, our departure airport Dublin features good weather at the moment. Only over the course of the night we are going to run into a couple of typical Irish gusts. And the same goes for our destination airport Manchester, where we're facing good weather today on the 19th, and only tomorrow morning they are going to start getting some significant weather over there. Our destination alternate, East Midlands, also has good weather today, only tomorrow they start getting a little bit of weather, and then tomorrow morning they are really going to get some heavy rain showers. But apart from that, we are looking at good weather conditions all over, so let's go ahead and have a look at our operational flight plan and make a decision on the amount of fuel to take. Basically, we are flying online through the Cross the Pond today, and even though neither Dublin nor Manchester is part of the Cross the Pond traffic, I would kind of expect that there might be a little bit of traffic online every here and there. So let's just take a little bit of extra fuel. The standard 3,510 will be rounded up 4,000 kilos. That is going to provide us with approximately some 15 minutes of extra fuel, and that should really be all we need. So 4,000 kilos is the amount of fuel that we are going to load up today. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead. Our APU is available by now, so let's bring it online over here. And then we can continue our safety checks. So the emergency exit light is going to arm attendant, call button is checked. Takeoff config warning is checked as well. Cargo fire. Well, that was interesting. That took a little while until it operated correctly, but we finally got there. Okay, moving on to the overhead panel. No voice recorder switch installed, unfortunately. Then we can go ahead and test the stick shakers. Looking good. Voice recorder test. Can we reach that over here somehow? Okay, back to normal, please. The off light should come on now. Unfortunately, it doesn't in the iFly. Okay, the clackers operating normally. Then we can move over to the IRSs, which we can put to nav. Maintenance light is working, elevator jam landing assist is guarded, and the ELT is guarded. Okay, wonderful. So that is our flight deck inspection completed. Let's go ahead and take a seat over here. And next up we are going to have a quick look into the electronic flight bag, and we are going to do a little bit of basic setup in here. So let's do initialize flight, and then we can go ahead. For our terminal charts, we are going from Echo India Delta. Oh, come on. Echo India Delta Whiskey towards Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. And for the alternate airports, we have Echo Golf November X-Ray. Okay, that looks good to me. With that, I would normally hit complete now. Okay, looks like we have to hit the search button for that to work. Okay, a little bit different than what I'm used to from the same EFB from PMDG a while ago, but let's just leave it at that. So in terms of the charts, we're going to start with the airport charts, and basically what we need over here is the main airport charts and then the parking stands and coordinates. Let's go ahead, have a look. No, not that one. Interesting. Should be able to scroll through them over here, but then it's got to be the east chart, and indeed it is the east chart. Okay, perfect. So we're going to take those two, and then for our departures, we are planned on the Bochum 1 Alpha departure, so let's go ahead and find that in here as well. I read Bochum over here, I read Bochum over here, but we are looking for 1 Alpha. A little search function or something would really make our life a little bit easier over here. Okay, page number 2, Bochum 1 Alpha, here it is. And just to be sure, yeah, that is the correct chart. Okay, wonderful. So that is our clipboard completed down here. And then we can go further down into the systems page, sim menu, refueling, and we said we want 2000 kilos, so let's make that 2.0 in the number 1 and 2.0 in the number 2. That's the wing tanks, left and right. Okay, refueling valve on and set, and then they can go ahead and start the boarding down here. Last but not least, we can go into the performance and payload menu down to weight and balance and enter our guests over here. So we are carrying 170 passengers, but for some reason that zero fuel weight is 2000 kilos too high. Let's make it a bit less then. We're looking for 58 tons. Okay, a little bit more is fine as well. For the cargo on flights like these, Ryanair doesn't really carry too much, so let's just take a couple hundred kilos here. Okay, set payload. And that's all we need in here. Alright, complete for now. Perfect. So with that, let's go ahead and get GSX to request our boarding. And attach Pushback tuck now. Yes, please. Do you want to board crew? No, they are on board already. Perfect. So that is our basic setup completed. With that sitting in the flight deck now, let's go ahead and turn on traffic, airports and terrain. And we do the same on the other end side to ensure that we are safe in terms of what the weather radar would do. Oxygen test is looking good. Okay, wonderful. And last but not least, a little bit of light setup here. Let's put the displays all to roughly the halfway position, because that is about as bright as we need them today. We don't need any of the other lights just yet. If we do need them later on, we are gonna turn them on over that. Okay, perfect. So that's our basic flight deck setup completed over here. With that, let's go ahead and start working on our FMS. Ryanair wouldn't be Ryanair if they didn't save the money on the ATIS system. For that reason, we have to type in anything manually. So 737-8, 27K engines, current database. Let's go to the position in it, and we can take the GPS left over here. And we are going Echo India Delta Whiskey towards Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. And the call sign is going to be a Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Okay, so departures. I bet it's going to be runway 28 left, but I tell you what. Let's go ahead and check that ATIS to be sure. So, terminal charts, airport. And we can just go into the menu here and turn that to night mode, because it is a little bit bright for my taste. Okay, so ATIS 124.530. And no, Ryanair does not have any capability to request the ATIS via data link, so you actually have to do it this way. The good old-fashioned way.
28 right, parallel runway operations in use, landing traffic plan to vacate taxiway Sierra 5, transition level 65, wind 160 at 6 knots, wind variable between 130 and 210, visibility 10 kilometers or more, few clouds at 3000, 20,000 broken, temperature 12, dew point 7, QNH 1009 hectopascals, taxiway Alpha closed, taxiway Echo 2 closed, advise if unable takeoff runway 28 right, advise on initial contact.
1009
you have
now.
listened to information, Foxtrot.
Okay, it is Foxtrot. I'm just going to write that down over here.
And
then we can go ahead and dial in 121.5.
Approach type ILS, landing runway.
Remember, due to the new Watson Code of Conduct, we do need to listen.
Right, parallel runway operations in use.
We do need to listen to the guard frequency whenever applicable. Okay, that's it though. Then let's go ahead with our setup. So 28 right is going to be our departure. And in that case, it is going to be the Boeing 1 November, I guess. Let's go ahead and have a look into the charts once more. Definitely not the 1 Alpha then. Okay, edit clip, departure charts, and we're looking for Boeing. Once again. Okay, here's the 1 mic, but that's not for us. So, Boeing 1 Golf and Boeing 3 Juliet. Okay, I tell you what, that's a little bit too many for me. But let's do it the easy way. We are just going to request our IFR clearance. That is basically what I've done in the real world all the time as well, when I just had no clue. Or you can also ask them for the expected standard departure. That usually works fine as well.
Ryanair 88 Papa Tower 118.6.
118.6 Ryanair, my papa.
Dublin ground, good evening. Ryanair 71 Julie Papa information. Foxtrot 737-8200 in request clearance to Manchester.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa ground hello, cleared to Manchester, Boeing 3 Juliet departure, runway 28 right, stop climb flight level 90, squawk 3455, the airborne frequency approach 121.1.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa is cleared to Manchester via the Boeing 3 Juliet departure 28 right, climb flight level 90, squawk 3455, departure 121.1.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, correct.
Okay, wonderful. Let's just go ahead and leave that frequency again for a moment. So, Boeing 3 Juliet, we now know that part. And then 28 right is already in here. Flight level 90 is our first cleared altitude. Here we go. Squawk 3455. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. And airborne 121.1. I am just gonna set that into the number 3 radio as a reminder here, and that's it then. So you go in here, and then we can tune the data frequency into here. Beautiful. Okay, so Boeing 3 Juliet, let's go ahead and find that chart real quick. I do believe we had that a moment ago already. Boeing 3 Juliet, here it is. Alright, so that's off to a right. Let's see. Please load that chart. Well, suppose we're gonna give it a while then. Let's go ahead and continue in here. So 3 Juliet, 28 right, 90, 3455, 1211. All of that is noted, so we can go ahead and remove it from our scratch pad again. Come on. Holding the clear button normally should remove everything. Looks like the iFly has a couple problems with that. Normally if you just hold the clear button down for a few moments, it just removes the entire scratch pad. Okay, here we go. So, onto the route, and we're going via Quebec 37 towards Mallet. Alright, and for the arrival it's going to be an ILS approach onto runway 23 right. The arrival is the Mallard 1 mic, and the rest is going to be radar vectors. Alright, so activate, Perfinet. Cost NX6, welcome to Ryanair. And then we have reserve fuel of 1.8, that is the minimum that the company actually allows. We're looking at 58 tons of zero fuel weight, cruising flight level 210, the wind up there 255 at 46. And ISA deviation +1. So transition altitude 5001. And then we can go on. VNAV page 250 below 100 is looking good. And now onto the legs page. If only we would actually have that chart in here. Here we go. That's looking better. Okay, so that looks like we are going straight ahead. Delta Whiskey 128, maximum 210 knots. Let's see that on the plan page. Okay, so straight ahead 650 and then Delta Whiskey 128, which is pretty much an immediate right-hand turn. Delta Whiskey 129, max 210 as well. And we do have that. Then right again, Delta Whiskey 124 below flight level 90, which we have, and then on via ATGO towards Bochum, maximum 290 knots below flight level 230, and we have all of that. Beautiful. Okay, so for the fixed page, the EOSIT straight at 25 miles, so Echo India Delta Whiskey. /25 should work just about fine. And at the end of the legs page we can go ahead and draw our engine outset, so that's going to be Dublin. And then the runway track, which is I believe 280 roundabout, but let's go ahead and have a look. So we can complete this and have a look at the airport chart. Zoom in for a bit and here we go, 277. So 277/25 miles. And here we go. Then some random waypoint which we don't really need. And deleting that one again. Beautiful. Okay. So last but not least we can enter the holding. That's gonna be 277. Right hand turns, climbing to whatever is above the MSA. Let's see, 2,400 the MSA, so climbing to 3,000. So 3,000 and above. Invalid entry. No, that should not be invalid. That should work. Okay, well, we'll just leave it at that. I think it's the old iFly bug that you can't enter anything unless you've executed your FMS, but we'll just leave it at that. Okay, good. So that's our FMS setup for now. Then let's do the overhead panel next. A little bit strange that you need to operate some switches using the mouse wheel and other switches using the left mouse button. Alright, nonetheless we are getting there. I am going to turn on the APU bleed now already. Okay, 21,000 into here, and let's see what our landing elevation is going to be. 260 minus 50, so we're looking at 200 feet. Here we go. Okay, wonderful. No need to do anything up here anymore. Flight director's coming on. 90 is correct. Runway heading 277. And in case we need to come back immediately, I am gonna tune those courses towards 277 as well. Here we go. Okay then, moving further down, fuel flow reset, auto brakes, takeoff. Quick look onto the system page, hydraulic quantities are looking good. Info page, N1 set and speed reference both on automatic. Perfect. Okay, radio setup is more or less done, and in terms of the VORs, what do we have here? Dublin, 114.9. We can tune that. So 49 and 49. That way we have something in here at least. Okay, so that stuff is looking good. That stuff is looking good, with emphasis on the weather radar up here. And that stuff over here is now looking good as well. Okay, wonderful. So with that, our flight deck setup is completed. Our refueling is completed as well. Let's see about our boarding. Is completed as well. Wonderful. So, are you ready for the departure briefing? Threats for the departure? Honestly, I don't see any. Let's do a route check then. Going from Echo India Delta Whiskey to Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, Romeo Yankee Romeo 71 Juliet Papa. The routing is the Botham 3 Juliet departure, Quebec 37 Mallet, Mallet arrival, for an ILS approach runway 23 right, and that is a ground distance of 179, let's say. 2.6 and the reserves 1.8, looking good. Okay, instrument, cross-check, time UTC 1613, altimeter 1009, reading about 210, flight directors on, minus master, standby instrument set. Left seat takeoff, 28 right, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2 with a backup at 1500, and we have an engine outset straight at 25 miles to the Dublin point that we have at the end of the lags page. Now, in case of emergencies, above 80 knots I will only reject for fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind chill warning, aircraft unable or unsafe to fly. If I call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers and disengage the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify operation of the RTO auto brakes. Manually raise the speed brake lever, apply maximum reverse thrust. When the aircraft comes to stop, I will set the park and brake. Perfect. If you call stop, I note the brakes on, speed, call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thrust reverse normal indications. I call 100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions and call in emissions. I will call auto brake disarm and select flaps 40 when the parking brake has been set, and advise ATIS of the reject. Thank you. We then identify the failure and carry out any drills as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we read and do the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, we'll pull the CBR circuit breaker, you grab the lid, and we get out. If the call before V1 is keep going, there will be no actions below 400 feet except to cancel any warnings and raise the landing gear with a positive rate. At 400 feet, verify heading select and carry out the memory items at the MFRA, buck up, and retract the flaps and schedule. Flaps up no light, select level change, max continue thrust, engage the automatics, non-normal checklist, normal checklist, POC in its PA, and then we come up with a plan. Okay, for our taxi, we are parking on stand number 110. And looking up here, that's just over here. Pushback most likely with the nose to the left-hand side, and then taxi out via the link and onto Kilo, November 1. And that should take us all the way to the full length for runway 28 right. No sense taking November 2 figures here, whether we go left, right, or right, left. Those couple meters here really don't make too much of a difference. Okay, for our departure, we have the Botham 3 Juliet departure, which is located on a chart 10-3 Lima, effective 3rd of February. Transition altitude 5,000 feet, which checks with the FMC 5,001. Remain on Dublin Tower until passing 2,000 and contact Dublin departure 121.1 as per ATC. Maximum speed 250 below 100, maximum 290 above level 100. And we do have both of those here indeed. Okay, so for our routing then, straight ahead to 650, maximum 210 knots, right hand turn, 308, inbound Delta Whiskey 128, again maximum 210 knots. Then it's a right hand turn, Delta Whiskey 129, maximum 210 knots, Delta Whiskey 124, below flight level 90. And then via ATGO towards Botham, max 290, below flight level 230, and we do have that. Do you have any questions on the briefing? No? Beautiful. Then let's go ahead and say hello to our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel in the name of Ryanair. Welcome aboard our flight number 5542 towards Manchester. Flight time today about 40 minutes at a cruising altitude of 21,000 feet. We expect a smooth flight with good weather conditions. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And the cabin crew is now going to perform the safety demonstration. That is not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the passengers around you. So we are asking for your full attention. Thank you very much, and once again, welcome aboard. Okay, beautiful. So our passengers are catered for. Everything is done. Let's go ahead and do our takeoff performance, please. So, Airport, Echo, India, Delta, Whiskey, search, enter. Runway 28 right. They don't have intersections here, unfortunately. The runway condition is dry. So, looking at our ATIS once again, the wind is 160 at 6. 160 at 6. Temperature is 12 degrees with a QNH 1009. We're gonna go for the highest possible rating, flaps 5, air condition on, and anti-ice should not be needed today. Okay, then let's go into the weight and balance. So passengers and cargo are in. That's a zero fuel weight of 58.6. What's the fuel in here? Nothing, okay. Total fuel 4,000 kilos. Taxi fuel 143 and trip fuel 1424. Okay, so taxi 62579, takeoff 62436, landing 61012, zero fuel 58579. So that's 58.6 versus 58.0. Okay, 600 kilos more, that's alright. We have sufficient extra fuel that we can do that. Gross weight 62.5, and that matches. Okay, we have a match. So, complete. Then we've got those values here automatically. Calculate. So, derated takeoff 2 at 58 degrees. But it can't calculate the speeds. Why is that? Let's just try a different flap setting, see what happens. No, it also doesn't do speeds. That's interesting. Maybe if we go a rating higher? No. Okay. Wait a moment. 160/6 knots? Why does it go meters per second all the time? Well, in that case we'll make 160 at 3. That's more or less the same. But again, no calculation. Okay, in the real world that would be an issue. We would now call operations and ask them to do the performance calculation for us. However, in the simulator, since we don't have that available, let's go ahead. D takeoff 2, 58 degrees, and the outside temperature is 12 degrees. 72.2, 72.2. Oh, that's interesting. Now it calculates them. Is that because I didn't enter the temperature on the non-aspirated probes? I want to try that. Delete. Calculate. Ha! Found the bug. Okay. /12. Yep. Found the bug. Needless to say, that bug should not be there. The EFB should be completely independent of what you have in the FMS. But okay, we're just gonna keep that stuff. It's also interesting. Look at that, we just got a completely different assumed temperature. Okay, 39 degrees now. Well, we can also do that. So 78.9, 78.9. That's perfect. Well then. Takeoff flaps 5, the trim is 21.9. And with that we get takeoff speeds 136, 136, 142. And those all match the FMS. Okay, 142, here we go. 6.3 units. The auto trim was on, so that is automatically set. Perfect. Okay, beautiful. So with all of that good stuff done, safety inspection checklist and before start checklist, down to the line please. Services and shocks, checked. Maintenance status, checked. Battery, on. Electric hydraulic pumps, on. Landing gear lever, down. Ship's library, checked. Yes, hello down there. That was my phone. I do apologize for that, but we should be turning that off anyway now that we're about to go off block. Okay, IRS mode selectors. Nav, gear pins, 1 to 3 removed. Probe covers, 1 to 3, 4, 5 removed. ELT, up here. Armed, light test. I think we forgot that one. Switch is hidden so nicely down here. Okay, looks like all of those lights are working just fine. And we should test you as well then. Alright, so light tests is checked. Oxygen test 100%. Yaw damper on. Nav transfer and display switches on and normal and auto. Fuel 3,600 required. 4,000 kilos on board. 4 pumps on. Cabin utility IFE galley power on. Emergency exit lights armed. Fasten belts on. Window heat on. Air conditioner pressurization. PAX auto bleeds on set. Pressurization mode selector. Auto instruments cross checked. Auto brakes. RTO. Hydraulics. Normal. Speed brake. Down detent, parking brake set, step and cutout switches, normal, wheel by fire warning checked, radius, radar and transponder set and standby, rudder and aileron trims 3 and 0, takeoff briefing is discussed, PA complete, FMC CDU set, N1 and IS bugs. So, auto, reduced takeoff 2, 39 degrees, 136, 136, 142 set, stop trim 6.3 set. Performance, weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode and stealth, flight windows and cockpit door, locked, holding at the doors. Alright, let's go ahead and start preparing the aircraft. The tuck should be connected already. Then doors, close, 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 close. So, let's see. And by now we should be getting the signal from the cabin that they are ready for the pushback. And that is looking good. Alright, we'll take that as the signal given.
Hello, taxi Sierra Whiskey 1, hold short.
Doors closed, passengers seated, before start checklist completed, down to the line.
Can you repeat for EG3 Yankee Zoo?
So with all of that, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and grab our clearance.
Sierra Whiskey 1, hold short, 3 Yankee Zoo.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, request pushback.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, your push and start, approved facing to the east on Delta Sierra, QNH 1009er.
Push and start approved onto Delta Sierra towards the east, QNH 1009er, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Okay, before start checklist below the line, air conditioning packs off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder alt off, before start checklist complete. Ground from flight deck, go ahead. Please confirm all doors and hatches closed, ground equipment removed and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, push start approved on to Delta Sierra facing east. So facing east, Delta Sierra. Okay, release parking brake please. Parking brake released. Stand by for engine start. Standing by. Interesting, why do they just now start to... Uh-oh, that's gonna be expensive. Are they gonna break it? So GSX, even though it can connect the tuck early now, still has some logic flaws there in the pushback logic. Well, what did we expect, huh? In any case, we are pushing...
3 Shamrock 679, in reserve, sir.
Oh well.
679, thanks, taxi.
We're pushing, we're more or less on time. That's all we can ask for, isn't it?
Foxtrot, outer hold short, Neptune, jump 679, thank you.
So a really cool feature of the real EFB, or at least of that Boeing EFBs, if you press the transfer key, then you should be able to transfer what you have on one side to the other. Really handy feature. Unfortunately though, that is not simulated in the iFly at the moment. Okay, flighter from ground, you clear to start the engines. Roger, starting in sequence 2 then 1 and starting engine 2. Clear 2. Okay, and 2. It wouldn't be a max if this wouldn't take a little bit of time now. And 1. We should already have oil pressure for a long time now. Well, there it slowly comes. But under these weather conditions, with these temperatures, we should have had it for a long time already.
Hotel 1, link 4, stand 202 for 3 Yankee Zulu.
Okay, soft tests in progress. Pushback complete. Set your parking brake, please. Parking brake set. Okay, we have a good engine start on number 2, starting engine number 1. Clear 1. Engine 1 start. And I did isolate a pack over here because we want to keep those cabin temperatures nice and steady. You can see right now it's only about 20 degrees, so we can already start warming it up a little bit more. So we've got N2, N1. Should already have oil pressure as well. Motoring is in progress.
Shamrock 679er Tower 118.6, goodbye.
Tower 1186, Shamrock 67.
And the guy's already going. Oh well. Okay, we have 2 good engine starts, clear disconnect, showing the sign in front. Bye bye. And there is actually the sign with the gear pin over there as well. Alright. Then let's wait until the engine start is actually completed. Start a cutout, monitor 1, number 1, stable. So we are soon going to get into the temperature ranges where we'll need anti-ice again, but hopefully that'll wait for a little bit. Flight control track. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudders. Full left. Full right. Neutral. After start checklist. Generators on. APU off. Start switches continuous. ProArt on. Anti-ice off. Air conditioning. PAX auto. Bleeds on. Isolation valve. Auto. Flaps. 5 required. 5 selected, and a green light. Step trim, 6.3 units set. Start levers idle detent. Flight controls checked. Recall checked. B4 taxi checklist complete. Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, request taxi.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa taxi, Delta Sierra Charlie Kilo, hold short November.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa taxi, Delta Sierra Charlie Kilo, hold short November. Alright, Delta Sierra. Then over here it goes into Charlie, Kilo, and then we hold short November up here. Config. So, engine still a little bit too responsive, a little bit much too responsive. So straight ahead, out to the left, and then we hold short over here, I believe. Nobody to the left. Then we can just make it a little bit of a gradual swing over down here. Okay, onto Charlie and then left onto Kilo. And then hold short of November.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, taxi November, November 2, hold short, runway 28 right.
Taxi November, and we're requesting full length Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa.
71 Juliet Papa, no worries, right November, November 1, hold short 28 right.
November 1, hold short 28 right, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, the tower, 118.6, good night.
118.6, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, good night. Okay, this actually is the Cat 1 holding point, so we gotta hold it over here. Dublin Tower, good evening, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, holding point to it right, not ready.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, Dublin Tower, hello, roger, report ready.
Will go. Okay, before takeoff checklist down to the line, please. Config, check, flaps,
Ryanair
5, green light, step trim, 6.3, set. Okay, takeoff briefing. It is left to takeoff, 28 right, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2.5, and the takeoff speed 136, 136, 142, set. Pax auto, bleeds on, anti-ice off, sit straight ahead, right hand turn, and climbing 90 at 2000 we contact departure on the 121.1. Let's go ahead and pre-select that. Yeah, 121.1 is correct. Okay, in case of emergencies, straight at 25 miles, pick up the hold, and that's it. Any questions? No? Beautiful. Okay. Cabin is secured before takeoff checklist complete down to the line. Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, ready for departure.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, surface winds 16 degrees 7 knots, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff, bye-bye.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff, bye-bye. Is Elnaf gonna arm? No? Interesting. Let's try that again on the runway. I have a feeling that they have probably screwed up the engagement criteria on the ground, but we'll see about it. Okay, before takeoff checklist below the line, MCP. Almost set. Transponder, Tara, strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete down to the line. Right, one arrival over there, and we'll probably only be airborne once the other guy has landed. Or can they do independent operation here? Not 100% sure, to be honest. But either way, we do a right-hand turn immediately after liftoff, so it's not gonna matter.
Approaching 28 right.
Intentionally. Okay, Elnaf does not seem to arm. Well, in that case, heading select for the departure, and once we're in the air, we can engage it at 400 feet. Okay, are you ready? Try that once more. Nope. Okay, takeoff.
Ryanair 2 X-ray uniform, Dublin Tower, hello, surface winds 16
Stabilized.
degrees 7 knots, runway 28 left.
Start takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. $80 knots, checked. V1, rotate.
Ryanair 54 X-ray echo, vacate right, and right.
Positive climb, gear up.
Vacate right, west, right, X-ray.
LNAV. This time it works.
Ryanair 2 X-ray uniform, surface winds 16 degrees 7 knots, runway
Disregard that, that's probably AI traffic.
Ryanair 54 X-ray echo, contact ground 121.8, bye-bye.
Ground 121, 8 bye-bye, and 6 rank.
Back up. And passing 2000.
Cannon to 6 miles.
Flaps 1. Speed check.
1826, Condor 47.
Dublin, good afternoon. Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, passing 2,500, climbing 900.
Crush Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, Dublin, good day, identified, climb flight level 210.
Climb flight level 210, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa.
Ryanair 27 Mike uniform, clear direct to Lapmo.
Direct to Lapmo, Ryanair 27 Mike uniform.
Set. 210 checked. Flaps up, no lights. VNAV, set standard. Standard, cross-checked, passing flight level 43 now. Alright.
Condor 437.
No idea what the flight director is doing, that is certainly not correct.
78.6, Liberty Tower, Condor 437.
Okay, after takeoff checklist. Aircon and press. 1.8, climbing, set. Altimeters, standard, passing flight level 6 to
Ryanair 7 Juliet Papa, clear direct to Bochum.
now. Ryanair 7 Juliet Papa, direct Bochum.
I confirm Bochum, Bravo, Oscar, Foxtrot, uniform Mike.
Yep, to both of them, Ryanair 7 Juliet Papa.
Shamrock, correction, Ryanair 27 Mike uniform, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1008.
5,000 up
Okay,
to 108,
both of them.
Ryanair 27 Mike uniform.
Yeah, you should be seeing it on the display right now. But anyway, execute.
122,
LNAV available? LNAV.
Shamrock 679 negative, 133 decimal 2.
133.2, Shamrock 679.
Okay, clear to climb above flight level 150. So let's go full climb thrust, please. And update that direct for me, please. That looks better. Altimeters. Passing 10,000, climbing 210, 10 checks. I'll just quickly fly the acceleration manually here, and thereafter we are going to do the 10 checks. But what we can already do is to release the cannon.
Direct to 50 for the 504 Lima arrival, range 8 left and 210.
Shamrock 369 hotel negative, flag, so 4 Lima arrival, landing runway 28 left, descend to flight level 15.
Okay, that is looking good. Command A. So, 10 checks. Fuel. Balance, 4 pumps on, lights. Off, APU. Well, off. Aircon and press. 4.9. Set. Fasten belt. Yeah, should stay smooth. Auto, recall, check.
contact Scottish Control 133.2, good day.
133.2, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, good day. So, 1332.
34 Charlie, descend flight level 250.
Okay, last but not least, 1 to 1.5, monitoring 10 checks completed.
Kelham 34 Charlie, there is no ATC speed restriction.
Scottish, good afternoon, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, passing flight level 154, climbing 210 inbound Belfort.
Ryanair 71 and Juliet Papa, looks like it is the Mallard 1 Mike arrival.
Mallard 1 Mike arrival, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Okay, let's go ahead and start turning on a couple of the lights here.
639 Scottish, thank you, climb now, flight level 190.
It is slowly but steadily getting dark after all. I have a feeling we're going to have a very nice landing going just about into the sunset.
0 degrees, 39.
Shamrock 39 Charlie, resume own navigation direct Dola.
Direct Dola.
Alright, looks really smooth outside.
KLM 34 Charlie, resume own navigation
3,000 to go, vertical
Dola.
speed is looking good.
Navigation Dola.
Look at that.
Ryanair 20 Victor X-ray, report your indicated airspeed.
It's 270.
Roger. Shamrock 39 Charlie, speed 280 knots or greater.
Vertical speed.
280 greater,
Negative. Different call
Let's see,
sign.
cruise mark number 0.58.
Speed 280 knots or greater.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing.
Speed 280
Changeover?
greater at 290.
Oh, interesting, that doesn't work.
Perfect.
Should be able to switch this over to Mach number over here.
Central Wings 19 Sierra, contact London 128.130.
Oh, slight overshoot. The real one would not have done that, of course. And again an overshoot. That's interesting. It's yo-yoing about around the target VS. 1,000 to go. And since we're passing level 200, quick reverse L check here. So 7 point something. Looking good. Wonderful. So, top of descent in about 50 miles, easy going. And here we are.
8737 Charlie, Ribble 1 Golf arrival.
So, according to the flight plan, top of climb 7 minutes. So that seems pretty accurate to what we have right now. We should have 2,630 kilos on board. We loaded 500 more on the ground. We have 500 more right now. Perfect. VNAV. And a small tidbit over here. In the cruise, it should always target a Mach number, not an indicated airspeed. Alright, anyway, we have made it up to here. The real world Ryanair doesn't have the TCAS above and below, but let's just use it anyway, because it is still nice to have, isn't it? Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some Manchester charts. Manchester clipboard. Arrival.
128.
Okay, Mallet 1 Mike.
30.
And I'm fairly sure it is going to be an ILS approach runway 26 right. 23 right. Let's see. ATIS should be on 12818.
Control the deal with 1055 at 5,000 feet.
Well, 12818 does not seem to work over here.
And
That's because it's 12198 on VATSIM. Okay, different frequency than the real world. Well, then we are gonna use that.
Releases for all departures required. Acknowledge receipt of information Charlie and report aircraft type
ATIS Charlie?
to approach radar. Manchester information Charlie, time 1750 Zulu, automatic, arrival runway 23 right, departure runway 23 left, transition level 65 surface wind 1203 knots, visibility 10 kilometers or more, 4,500 scattered, temperature 3.08, UNH1012. CTP in progress. Departure to EGLL is prohibited until at least 2130 Zulu. Departures to Eton are heavily restricted and delayed. All departures expect delays and be ready to go at the holding point. Releases for all departures required. Acknowledge receipt of information Charlie and report aircraft type and cleared level on first contact.
Okay, perfect. So, QNH 1012, 23 right, and well, that is pretty much everything we needed for this. Alright, yeah, a little bit of cross-a-pont information on there, that's kinda expected, so basically all standard. So, let's go ahead with our setup here. Flight level 200, 257 at 30, flight level 100, 233 at 19. Transition level, what did they say again? 7.5, I believe, wasn't it? Really couldn't figure that from the ATIS due to all that cross-pont information. Actually, looking into the tag status, they don't actually seem to have broadcast one. Well, gotta be something like 7.5 or so. Alright, we're gonna go with that.
Virgin 639er heading for London 120.025.
Okay, 23 right, 3 times cruising altitude is 63. Plus a 10-mile ring and a 4-mile ring. Wonderful. For the arrival, let's see if we can find that. So, 23 right ILS. Then all we need is the ground shots.
To London 128.130.
Speed to 128.30.
Okay, complete that.
KLM 34 Charlie, contact London 128.130.
Huh, normally you should be able to scroll through the charts over here.
Ryanair 20 Victor X-ray.
It looks like they didn't simulate that. Right, so Mallet at level 170 on towards Wallasey and then towards
Ryanair 20 Victor X-ray 128.130.
We've got Mallet 170, Wallasey 250 knots, Mersey 230 at 7,000, and that is exactly as per the chart. Good. So, ILS approach 23 right, let's have a look at this. 232 on the courses. Here we go. Frequencies 1095.
Okay, sir, we look for 4883. We are on your space at the moment. We are descending flight level 2900.
Okay, and well, we don't really need it, but we can use Manchester VOR 1355.
Descend flight level 180, look for 4883.
Alright. So, minimum's 449.
Control, good evening, Walker 1108 is 5,000 feet.
Walker 1108 London, roger. That person's Scottish, roger.
Looks like we've got a London controller here who is currently lent out to Scottish to help. Okay, I think we've covered everything, have we? At least everything that we need to do until we get to the briefing. 5 miles to the top of descent, let's request descent. Ryanair 71 Julie Papa, request descent.
71 Julie Papa, descend flight level 90, route direct Mersey.
Ryanair 71 Julie Papa, descend flight level 90, route direct Mersey. Set, 90 checked. Come on. Man, clearing that scratch pad is awful. Okay, to Mersey. Here we go. Okay, start the descent. Well done. Let's do the briefing, please. So, threats for the arrival, honestly, I don't see any.
Thank you.
Then let's have a look. So, speed is in, 250 below 100, forecast page is in, fixed rings 23 right, 10 miles, 4 miles. The arrival, Mersey, 230 knots, 70, and thereafter it's going to be radar vectors to the ILS approach for runway 23 right. That's the chart 11-3, effective 18th of May. And we start out in 3,500 feet with the 3-degree glide path down to the minimums of 449. And in here we've got a 3-degree glide path, 3,500 feet. And the rest of it is checked as well. Now that stuff can quickly go away. Like that. Good. Okay, in case of Mr. Pro, climb to 3,500 feet, climb straight out till passing 750 or 0 DME inbound, whichever is later, then turn right track 356, then as directed. So we have the runway point, then 750 feet, and then 356 as directed, and 3,500 feet. Very good. So, arrival fuel 2.5. That means we have about 20 minutes extra, burning 300 kilos, which is a landing weight of 61.1. So let's go ahead and have a look. Performance, landing, en route. So Echo Golf Charlie, search, select. 23 right, it's a dry runway. For the wind, we'll just take a 5-knot tailwind over here. Not in meters per second, please. Okay. Wind calm, doesn't matter. 10 degrees, 1012. Reversers. Idle, flaps 30, air conditioning on, anti-ice off. Brakes, let's see if 2 works. We don't have any non-normals here. And we set 61,100. Okay, VRF addition 5 knots and calculate.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, descend flight level 80.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, descend flight level 80. Set, 80 checked. Okay, so 2,037 meters, and looking at the charts, we've got 3,000 available, vacating Alpha Echo, so that looks roundabout good. So flaps 30, auto brakes 2, and that's it. Okay.
135855.
So, seatbelts on. For some strange reason that I really don't know why it's doing it, it's flying much too fast over here. But that is something that I noticed the iFly do pretty much all the time. I don't know, it's either disregarding the winds, but they seem fairly accurate here. The winds are pretty much as forecast. So it should be able to fly that speed precisely, but the iFly always goes too fast. VNAV just needs a little bit more work there. Okay, in any case, let's go ahead and finish up the briefing. So we vacate Alpha Echo and then taxi via Alpha and parking most likely down here in Terminal 3. Alright, any questions? No? Perfect.
83, contact Dublin 121.
So descent checklist, please. Pressurization, land alt 250, anti-ice off, approach fuel discussed, ice and outbox, checked and set. Descent checklist complete.
Contact Manchester radar 118.580.
118.580 Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Manchester radar, good evening. Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, flight level 128, descending 80, inbound Mercy, information Charlie 737-8200.
Ryanair 17, question Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, Manchester radar, good evening. Expect now approach runway 23 right, lead Mersey, heading 085.
Vector ILS 23 right, lead Mercy, heading 285, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Okay. That's as expected. Then we can cheat a little bit here. Mercy 085 slash, for how long is that gonna be? 25 miles or so? Probably not entirely accurate, but let's go ahead and put that in. That way the plane leaves Mercy on that heading on its own, and we don't have to think about it. Because I would be probably rather likely to forget. The VNAV path we have just... oh, sorry, the LNAV route we have just created here is probably a tiny bit long. I do hope they are gonna vector us in a little bit shorter, but we'll see. Alright, I'll just say altimeters already. Passing 10.3, descending 8.0, 10 checks. Fuel is balanced, 4 pumps on, lights on, angle of bank 25, air conditioning and pressurization 4.6. Set, fast melts on, recall checked. Cabin crew, 10 minutes to landing. Okay. And 1.5 deselected, 10 checks complete. That's SOP over here. But look at that, VNAV is going much too fast below 10,000. Level change. It should not do that. If it is faster than 250, which is the speed restriction we've entered down here, it should have leveled off at 10,000, regardless of what the path is doing down here, and should just have started reducing speed on its own. Now, of course, it might be a little bit hard to make the restriction down at Mercy, so we might have to use some speed brakes here. Okay, 1,000 to go. I tell you what, can't really do much here, huh?
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, descend flight level 70.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, descend flight level 70. Set, 70 checked. Right, let's bring the VSD up, and as we can see, we can make 7,000 at Mercy without problems. It's an easy cross-check to calculate manually as well. 4 miles to run, 1,000 feet to lose. But we also have to lose a little bit of speed here, 230 knots. So, yeah, we'll probably have to use bits of speed brake. So speed brake out, speed back to 30. Okay, I'll leave Mercy heading 085, heading select. Okay, we are still clear to flight level 70, so we can disregard that standard in amber here. Nonetheless, let's change it. Okay, here we go. Looking good. ILS is coming in. Now we're waiting until we are on local QNH, and then we can go ahead with the frisk check. In any case, let's bring the VSD up already. That is looking good.
Manchester radar, Ryanair 58, Luna with you, timing 5,000.
So it does start getting a little bit dark as we've predicted. But I will just turn on a little bit of panel backlighting here.
Should be with Scottish Control.
But that's all we need.
I thought I should be. Enjoy your evening.
No worries.
Okay, looking good so far. Can we see the airfield already? Probably just somewhere beneath those clouds. I think I can see some lights over there. Well, that's the departure, so the field will be somewhere over here. Okay, so, quick moment to think about everything, as it was a pretty quick flight. Is there anything we have forgotten? I don't think so.
71 Juliet Papa, 35 track miles, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1012.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1012, copied. Okay, set. 5,000 checked. Level change, set QNH. QNH 1012, cross check, passing 6,900. Now. Okay, first check. frequencies, 109.5, set 3 times, rings, runway 23 right, 10 miles, 4 miles, islands, India Mike, India Mike, oh, wait a moment, India Mike versus India November. What does the chart say? Should be November. Then the island down here is wrong. That's the second time in the iFly now that it's got that wrong. I really don't know where it does take that information from. Okay, vertical speed, 1000 to go. Let's try and do a CDA over here. Okay, so courses 232, 232, 232. Approach checklist, altimeters and instruments, set and thrust checked, approach rates, checked and set, approach checklist complete. So if you do less than 500 feet a minute, they want you to advise them. And we can go engine anti-ice on. Tie. There should be notes somewhere on the approach chart as well. At least they used to be on the Ryanair charts. Maybe that was a company note. At least I can't seem to find it over here. Oh well. In any case, less than 500 feet a minute, we advise ATC, but we're not going to do that anyway. We'll just...
700 Papa, turn right heading 100 degrees.
Right heading 100 degrees, Ryanair 710 Papa. Okay, center fix on top, please. Execute. Tire on above 10, that's fine. Yeah, we're clear of the icing. Engine anti-ice off. Alright, cabin should be secured for landing already. Too bad. We went into altitude acquire and thereafter altitude hold. That means our lovely personal statistic that comes together with the fuel statistic is messed up now. Because they do measure if you go into altitude hold, or rather into altitude acquire, below 10,000 feet. However, we had that at 7,000 already when we had to level off according to the star, so not much we could do about this.
Runway 5, pushing runway 710 Papa, turn right heading 140 degrees, descend to altitude 3,500 feet.
Ryanair 710 Papa, right heading 140 degrees, descend altitude 3,500 feet. Okay, heading 140, set, 3,500 checked, vertical speed. Right, let's start reducing our airspeed. So, nice below the glide path. That should become a very good approach.
Runway 710 Papa, turn right heading 190 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 23 right.
Ryanair 710 Papa, right heading 190 degrees, cleared ILS 23 right. Okay, so everything is looking good over here. Approach armed. Lovely 15 knot headwind. And the, let's see, tower will be 11863 most likely. Here we go. Localizer capture. Runway heading 232. Right, auto throttle off. Glide slope capture. Go around altitude 3,500 set. And autopilot off. Okay, flaps 1. speed checked. Flaps 1.
2500.
Well. Now we have flaps 1. And terrain is noted. Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa established. Flaps 5.
71 Juliet Papa, thank you. Contact Manchester Tower now, 118.630, bye-bye.
118.630, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, bye now. Okay, nice and stable. Manchester Tower, good afternoon, good evening, Ryanair 700 Papa, ILS 23 right. One 863, huh?
2500.
Manchester Tower, Ryanair 700 Papa, ILS 23 right. Manchester Tower, Ryanair 6 correction 71 Julie Papa, radio check. Nope, he is not talking to us. Well, in that case, autopilot on, auto throttle on.
Good evening, Ryanair 2545, inbound 9, descend to 8,000 feet.
Okay, gear down, flaps 15, let's get ourselves a little bit of time.
Good evening, the information is Delta, report to your aircraft type.
That's a Boeing 737-800 aircraft.
2545, thank you. Sector for nice approach.
Well, I'll try one more time since he's busy right now. Flaps 30. Ryanair 700 Papa, reach 5 now, runway 23 right, clear to land.
Sorry, we were in the bathroom.
No worries. Okay, so, landing checklist. Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brake, armed, green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake, 2 set, flaps 30, 30, green light, and the landing lights are on, landing checklist complete. Alright, let's try that one more time.
$1,000.
Checked.
Approaching 2, 3, right.
Intentionally. That is not the official answer, by the way. Officially, there is no answer to that. $500, continue. So, Manchester is a little bit special in that the aiming point is located at the very top of a little hill. So chances are, if you come in a tiny bit too low, you're gonna smack it into the runway. And if you come in a little bit too high, you're just gonna keep floating all the way in. You can nicely see that over here. So let's do it right.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Here we go, that's looking good. Okay, speed brake up, thrust was normal. $80 knots. Manual brakes, 60 knots. And here we are, welcome to Manchester.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, welcome to Manchester, next flight Bravo, hold Bravo 3, and call ground 121.855 here.
Right on Bravo, hold Bravo 3, 121, confirm 855, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, 121.855, cheers.
121.855, thank you very much, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, cheers. Okay, first things first, which one is Bravo? The first one, okay, hold Bravo 3, that's in front of the apron. So we make a right-hand turn over here. And then hold in front of the apron. 121.855.
Pole position, contact tower 118.630 per day, the 117.
Okay, so we're crossing Delta right now, so after that we hold short of Papa basically. Manchester Ground, good evening, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, holding short Bravo 3.
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, Manchester Ground, good evening, taxi, in fact just hold Bravo 3 for now, expect down 4-1.
Hold Bravo 3, expect 4-1, Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Okay, in that case we can go ahead and start cleaning up.
Manchester Ground, Soundjet 454 is at gate 43, request position start, face south.
Okay, so that's Bravo 3 over here. So flaps are retracted, recall, checked. And that master caution should not come on.
1167.
Ryanair does have the automatic
1167
Peter probes installed. But well, that's it. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes. Engine 2 shutdown.
5-4, ready for push and start.
And then expecting stand number 41. Let's go ahead and find that on the charts already. That way we will know a little bit.
Good evening, stand
Okay, in here, interesting. Okay, so it's going to be straight ahead. Then most likely in the
east, confirm.
Yeah, most likely straight through the roundabout and then to the left, Juliet Foxtrot, I suppose.
Roger, face west, okay.
Yeah, they have one guy waiting over here to taxi out. I suppose that's the gentleman we're waiting for.
Ready for push and start.
Ready 3 Victor Golf 750, push and start approved face west.
Push start approved, face west, 3 Victor Golf.
Okay, great. So
everything
everything is prepared over here, and then we're just waiting for the gentleman to taxi out. And that should be it.
To the 454, I need you to go, you need to get a slot from
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We have not reached our parking position just yet, so please stay in your seats with your seatbelts fastened until the fasten seatbelt signs have been turned off. Thank you very much for your understanding. Of course, this is exactly the situation in which all the passengers will think, oh, we've arrived at the gate, let's go ahead and stand up. Because to be fair, they have no way of knowing that we are not at the gate just yet, so... Alright, so, please get me my taxi clearance now. Actually, is there someone who's pushed? Doesn't look like it, huh? Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, how long is the delay gonna be?
Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa, just waiting for another aircraft to push. Just taxi Bravo and Juliet Echo. If you can squeeze past them, you can go stand 4-1.
Bravo Juliet Echo, and if we can fit past the easy, we're gonna taxi stand 4-1 Ryanair 71 Juliet Papa. Okay, Oh yeah, the Easy just started pushing now. That would be... That'd be a lengthy delay. I wonder why they didn't follow the correct sequence. Normally it's inbounds before outbounds, so they would have kept... In the real world, they would have kept the Easy on the gate until we would have been parked.
Roger, 925, ready for taxi.
Okay, in any case, we go via Juliet Echo now, and then hopefully into 41.
Papa 1 via Echo Delta Papa, Virgin 925. Fully 1-2 Golf for this taxi.
Really 1-2 Golf. Just give way to the Virgin Atlantic 747 from your right to left, and then just follow them, holding points Papa 1 by Echo, Delta and Papa.
Okay, so first to the left now, and then hopefully clear of the Easy.
Okay, give way to the Virgin 747, holding point Papa 1.
Well, provided he does a short pushback so that we can fit behind. But I have a couple of doubts about that, to be honest. Okay, start the APU.
Drop him out, but it's ready for taxi.
No, that guy's blocking everything there.
No
No way we can fit behind him. Okay, that's fine though. We will just have to wait it for a couple of seconds then. Ryanair 71 Julie Papa. Unfortunately, no way we can fit behind the Easy. We'll just have to wait for him.
And if 71 Juliet Papa, Roger, they should be moving in a minute. If you want to, you can just take the stand in front of you.
No, we'll just wait.
Left the ground, good evening. Freebird 5 kilo.
Yeah, probably a minute or so until these guys are ready, so not too long of a delay. Alright, in any case, as we're waiting already, let's go ahead with a little bit of feedback there. So, this was actually the first flight I did with the release version of the iFly 737 MAX. Anything you've seen before has been pre-recorded with the pre-release version. And, well, there have been a couple of welcome changes there. But overall, my previous feedback still holds. It's a beautiful aircraft to fly. It's really a lot of fun. But in terms of systems, there are still quite a bit of bugs in there that I hope they are going to be working on fairly soon. But, yeah, overall, it is a thoroughly enjoyable aircraft. Now, it does come at a rather hefty price tag there at $70. Everyone's got to know if that's going to be worth it for you. Personally, would I recommend it? Absolutely. But I do realize that the personal financial situation of everyone does vary greatly, so for me as an airline pilot, $70 obviously isn't too much. For someone with a normal income, it probably is quite a bit more. So, as you want to take it, is it worth it? In my opinion, it's a thoroughly enjoyable aircraft, so the answer is yes. But I do realize that that money obviously does mean different, or does have a different meaning for everyone. But overall, it is a very enjoyable aircraft, and that is really my feedback for the airplane over here. Obviously, in terms of systems, it can't hold it up to the likes of Phoenix or PMDG or Leonardo or Just Flight, but nonetheless, it does have an okay system depth for the moment.
Easy 12 kilo ready to taxi.
So that's hopefully the Easy in front of us. APU is available by now. Let's bring that online. And once he's clear, we're gonna swing over to the right via the line over here. And then hopefully be right in gate 41.
Ground Easy 31 Foxtrot Papa requesting taxi.
But yeah, that Easy blocking us over here is a typical story once again. You could have seen how long we stood there waiting at Bravo 3 before the guy even started the pushback, even though he had the clearance all the time. So that's a classical case of GSX taking ages until it starts the pushback, which you really should prepare for by calling for a GSX push early, so that once the pushback clearance is issued, you will be able to commence the pushback promptly. That would avoid delays like these. Because otherwise, let's say he had called for the GSX guys beforehand and was actually ready, we would probably not have to wait very long until we could have gone into the gate. And on the other end side, if he would not have called for pushback until he was actually ready. Then he would probably have gotten the clearance once we would have been in the gate, so the delay would have been avoided. That's once again the typical pushback lesson. I do realize that we do this rather often over here, but it's just that so many flight simmers don't seem to be aware of the proper way to request a pushback clearance here. Alright, in any case, stand number 41. We are missing... Oh yeah, the docking system is working now. Perfect. So Manchester Gate 41. Let's see if we get some parking guidance. If not, I'm just going to stop it up there. Nope, looks like we get no guidance. No marshal either. Typical Manchester. Exactly as a real airport. You arrive on stand, there's nobody there.
545. Request access to gate.
Okay. So that's 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew, all doors in park.
Say again, please.
Alright, 2545, just continue straight ahead, hold Bravo 3, expect stand 52.
Okay, and then we have both engines below 20%. And you can hear my headset falling down in the background, which is something that does happen all the time in the real airplane as well, because you kind of have to put it up here. Or you just put it somewhere down here. Both ways, pretty likely to fall down. So, that's not a bug, that's a feature. Okay, parking checklist. Electrical on APU, fasten belt, off, ProArt. Auto, anti-ice, off. Aircon packs, auto, engine bleeds, on, APU bleed, off. Exterior lights, set, start switches, off, auto brake, off, speed brake, down to 10, flaps up, light, parking brake, set, start levers, cut off, weather radar, off, transponder, 2000, standby, CVR/CB in, cockpit door unlocked, and that's the transit shutdown checklist complete. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope that you have enjoyed this one. Let me know your feedback in the comments below, and let me know how you like the iFly Boeing 737 MAX. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm looking forward to see you all again in the next one. In the meantime, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.